Hello and welcome to the second tier. I'm Ryan Dilks and I'm joined by Justin Peach. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be ranking the home kits of every team in the Championship this season. We've had some works of art, we've had some interesting pieces, but we are going to give you the lowdown, ladies and gentlemen, on what we think is the best. Because, Justin, we've got impeccable taste, haven't we? We've travelled the world experiencing all sorts of different home kits. We've gone to France, Germany, Italia, Rome.
Really offensive
We've
accents here.
travelled. We've gone to the best countries in the world for taste in football kits. So we know what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the best home kits around. So in no particular order, we'll just start off randomly, Justin. In fact, I know which one to start off with because I'll make a suggestion. You can decide if you agree with it or not. Straight into Kevin Blackwell's skip. I absolutely despise this kit. I think it is horrendous.
It's the West Brom home kit, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm actually a big fan of it.
Really?
I quite like the big stripe down the middle. It's a little bit different to the usual stripes West Brom go with. I'm a big fan of it, and I like the dark colour blue. It's similar to one of the blues that we're going to go through at some point. Yeah, I think it's quite different to the other kits as well. I'm a big fan of it. I really am.
Are you just going to say this about every kit, though, and we don't end up with anything in Kevin Blackwell's skip?
No, because there are a couple here that I truly dislike.
I can't believe you like this kit, though. I just think it's so clunky, and it doesn't really. I wouldn't wear it myself. If I was going to the pub, for example, I would. This would probably be my last choice of all the kits here because I just think it looks awful. It looks more like a training kit, if anything.
I mean, firstly, I wouldn't wear a football shirt to a pub anyway. I mean, it's not the Euros anymore. Come on.
So if you're watching Derby play in the pub,
okay, maybe. I thought you meant you generally going to the pub and just wearing a random football shirt.
No.
I would still put it quite high. I would put it in the it's all right, I guess, because it's a happy medium. But I think there's a lot more to this kit than it being clunky. No,
we'll meet in the middle. No, we'll meet in the middle. You said it's all right, I guess.
Well, actually, I think it's sleek and sexy.
So. Jesus, it's not that good.
I think it is.
For me, it's the worst kit on here.
So
wow. We'll stick it in and if you think it's sleek and sexy, then my God. Next one, Peterborough. What are you thinking?
It's actually no. I quite like the diagonal stripes. It's like a faded white stripe through it. I think that's quite different. I think I'd say. So I'm actually a bit of a fan of it.
I think it's all right.
I think it's all right as well.
When it first came out, I thought that's a nice kit, but when I've compared it to other kits since, I'm a bit. It's all right, I guess.
I would say that, yeah. I think all right, I guess, is a fair comment to make. I quite like the detail with the faded white stripes, a bit like a wave coming in, like a bird's eye view of a wave coming in. But yeah, I think that's a fair place to put it.
I'd say it looks kind of smart, but slightly cheap. Hence why I haven't got it any higher in the table. Yeah, so fair. I think it's all right, I guess, is where I'd put it. Let's go Forest next. What are you thinking with the Forest kit?
I think it's sleek and sexy. I really do.
I think it is also sleek and sexy. It's simple, isn't it? And
yeah.
The sponsor has kind of divided opinion, but I think the sponsor's quite nice.
I think with sponsors, you can... I mean, for example, one of the worst sponsors I remember is the Just Eat logo on the Derby shirts. It made nice shirts look absolutely horrendous, whereas this one is quite forgiving with the overall shirt. By no means are me and Ryan fashion experts, by the way.
Oh, we are.
Okay, we are. Therefore, our opinion is absolutely valid here. I think the sponsor really helps the shirt. Actually, I think if you put any other sponsor in, like the Bet Victor one is one that I previously remember wasn't very good. This one is quite blocky within the shirt, which again just adds a nice frame to it, and the simplicity of it, and the kit launch as well. Kit launch is fantastic.
I think the simplicity of it is possibly what lets it down from being put in the Louvre, just because it's not very unique. It's just very much red and white. And if it had a bit more to it, then it possibly would be in the Louvre. But it is sleek and sexy. It's a nice shirt, the Forest shirt.
It is a nice shirt.
Shall we fill up the Louvre? I'll go with one which I think should be in the Louvre. Justin, I'm going to go with this Hull one. I really like this Hull one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. I'm at like the sash style shirt. So any sash style shirt needs to be put in a museum. 100%.
I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but I think just because the sash it's a unique style. It's probably the most unique shirt out of all of these.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look ridiculous. It looks very, very tidy. And I think it helps with Hull's colours because the orange and black, it's very easy to make stuff with that, isn't it?
I think it's difficult to make it look nice as well. And I'm sure Hull fans might disagree with me there, but the orange and black, very difficult to make it look quite nice. I think they've nailed it here. I remember the striped shirts that they had, and they didn't look great. They look really big and baggy, whereas this looks sleek and sexy, and then the sash just adds to it. It's like a broken sash as well, which is even better.
Yeah, it's a nice shirt. That's one I would wear to the pub. Big fan of that one. Let's fill up Kevin Blackwell's skip, shall we? I'm going to have a guess at a shirt which I think you would put in Kevin Blackwell's skip, and I think it's this Cardiff shirt. Am I correct?
I think you might be, actually. I'm not a big fan of that. It reminds me, can you remember it's going to hurt some Cardiff fans, the England shirt in 2004, where they had that big fat collar through the middle.
Yes.
It reminds me a bit of that. And you could get it out of the skip by adding a white collar to it. I think a white collar might have helped it a little bit, but the dark blue collar, I just think it makes it look bland.
It looks, that's it. It's definitely the dark blue collar, or is it even navy, whatever color it is. It doesn't work well. When it's blue on blue as well, it's not a good look. Yeah. Really not a fan of this Cardiff shirt. I'm not a massive fan of the West Brom shirts, obviously, but the Cardiff shirt's probably my second least liked one out of all these kits, I think.
Yeah, and I'll add something in here. I think Adidas make the worst shirts at the minute. I think there are a lot of brands out there that make really good shirts. We've got Puma there with Peterborough, looks really nice. I think the Puma West Brom one looks nice. Macron looks nice. Adidas have really let themselves down over the last couple of years, and I think this is one of them that, not good at all.
Here's another shirt which I think possibly divides attention, Justin. Divides opinion. This Millwall shirt, where are you thinking with this one?
I'll be honest with you, this is one of my favourite shirts in the league this season. I really, really like it. I really do.
I also really like this shirt. I think, again, simple but sleek. And the yellow collar / yellow sleeves, some people might not be a fan, but I think it adds to it.
I think it adds to it as well. I really do. And this shows what a collar can do to a football shirt. You look at the Cardiff one, doesn't look great, but you look at this, it looks good.
Where are you thinking? Good. Are we putting it in the Louvre?
I don't know. I think it's sleek and sexy, but I don't think it's quite Louvre potential.
I'm tempted to put it in the Louvre. You know, I think I'm gonna edge towards the Louvre. Well, in fact, we'll put it in the Louvre for now.
Yeah.
Maybe later on we might change our mind and move it somewhere else. Random one. Blackpool. What are you thinking?
It's a throwback to the 90s, isn't it? And the 90s, 20 years on, the 90s is, from a fashion perspective, of course, the expert. It's hipster. It's a bit hipster. But I can't see the sponsor. I can't even see what make a kit it is.
It's Puma.
I can't see the Puma sign because there's a white blob over it. It's okay. It's okay, isn't it? It's quite unique. I mean, just looking at the Peterborough one as well, I think they're actually a little bit similar. And they're both Puma, so it's not ideal. So I'd stick it in the end.
I like the sponsor because it is the Blackpool skyline. So I think that's quite nice. But the actual kit itself is, I'm not too sure. It doesn't really tickle my fancy. It looks a bit like a bang average concept kit. You know how people make their own kits for the teams online and post it? It looks a bit like that, which is why I wouldn't put it in Kevin Blackwell's skip, but I'm thinking,
yeah, I think that's fair. Like I said, I think it's okay. I can't really see, especially from this distance, I can't really see the kit sponsor very well, or the kit manufacturer, and even the actual emblem. Actually, I think it gets lost a bit in the fades. I don't know what to call them, blobs.
I think I know what you mean, kind of. Let's go for Stoke. Stoke have had pretty much the same kit now for 110 years. What are you thinking about this kit?
It's all right. It's a Stoke shirt. I preferred last year's, even though it's similar. I preferred last year's. I've got last year's shirt actually. There's not much you can do with the Stoke shirt.
I'm tempted to put it down to
Yeah. No, I don't think that's fair actually. It's a nice shirt. It's okay.
It is a nice shirt. It's just nothing remarkable about it, really, is there?
No, that's why I think it should just go in. It's all right, I guess. Just because they can release the same one next year, we wouldn't notice, and we'd still put it in the same category.
They could literally just, because all I think they've done with this kit is change the colour of the Macron logo. I think that's all they've done. Apart from that, it looks pretty much exactly the same shirt as it always has done. So it's still a nice shirt, but it's, just the same as always.
It's just a Stoke shirt.
Exactly. It is just a Stoke shirt. Let's go for your club, Justin. Derby County. What are you thinking with that? How's it compared to past Derby shirts?
Derby's shirt last year was brilliant. I thought it was great. I thought it was quite simple, nice V-neck collar, all white, bit of a pinstripe black on the I think it was on the collar and the sleeves. It looked really nice. Shirt before it was nice with the sort of the marks around the shoulder, really, really nice. This one, when it came out, I thought, okay, quite like the addition of the blue. But now I've had time to think about it. Don't really like it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like it. I don't like the black on the sleeves. I think the blue is just a little square at the bottom of the sleeve. I think it's quite random. I think they could have done a better job. I think it's just all right. It looks okay. It's not skip worthy.
Yeah. It's a smart shirt. It's another one which you could definitely be looking all right with if you wore it to the pub, because it is just a nice, smart shirt. I wasn't a big fan of the kit from last year. I thought it was.
I really liked it.
I thought it was very bland, to be honest.
I like
because, as you say, it was just a white shirt.
Yeah,
that's where me and you differ. We try to find a happy medium, and that's why quite often we disagree on these kits. But yeah, we'll go. It's all right, I guess. It's. I don't think it deserves to be sleek and sexy. I think we could agree on that. Okay, Justin. So you say you've got some which you think deserve to be in Kevin Blackwell's skip. How about you pick one for us?
All right, then. I'm going to go with the Fulham shirt.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. The reason why. Can you remember the season season after they came down to the Premier League the first time? I think it was the 2014-15 season. It's an exact replica of that kit, but the sponsor is horrendous. Ruins it for me.
I think the sponsor is definitely interesting.
I think if you take the sponsor out, it's a nice kit with the pinstripes. I like it, but this is what I mean about Adidas. I think Adidas have let themselves down because it doesn't. I think it's Ross McCormack. When he signed for Fulham the first year, he was in this kit, I think, and it looked all right. But again, just here now, looking at it, sponsor spoils it. I'd put it in a skip. It could have been a nice shirt.
I think it's a good shirt to wear if you've got to watch the football at 3:00, but then you're doing a shift at Foot Locker at 6. I think it's all right in that case. The sponsor, I can see what you mean, but I do think the overall shirt is quite nice. I would put it in. It's all right, I guess. So shall we meet in the media and just put it in?
Yeah, go on then. We'll settle that.
That seems sensible. I'll give you on a contender for Kevin Blackwell's skip, Justin. Luton's kit. I'm really not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan.
There'll be a lot of Luton fans disappointed. I thought the kit had gone down quite a storm this season.
It just looks very training groundish, if you ask me.
Yeah, some kits do, but I think that's where they're quite nice. I quite like the round neck on it. I like the white round neck on it as well. I think it's okay. I don't think it's skip worthy. I think it's quite harsh.
Actually, I take it back. I'd say it's actually more non-league than it is training ground. It's the kind of shirt that if you saw a non-league side wearing it, you'd think it's a nice shirt for a non-league side. For a championship side.
That's nasty.
Can you really Can you really say it's better than some of the kits that we've got above it?
I think it's better than the Fulham kit. I don't think it's as good as the Blackpool kit.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it in Kevin Blackwell's skip for now. Where were you putting it?
I would put it in the row, I think. I think it's better than the Fulham kit. I really do. I don't think it's as nice as the Peterborough one, but it's okay. I don't think it's skip worthy. I think it's quite harsh. I think I'm looking at one now that is skip worthy. But
go on then, which one?
You're going to be surprised. I think it's the Bristol City one.
Okay. I'm ready to hear your argument. Go for it.
Now, you know yourself how much I love Hummel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm decked out.
Really loves Hummel.
Yeah, I have 7 or 8 football shirts that are Hummel. I've got Denmark tracksuit bottoms and shorts.
It's quite disturbing, really.
It's an unhealthy obsession. If anyone's listening from Hummel, please contact me. I will happily model for you and receive free gear. But this Bristol City shirt is let down by the emblem in the middle. I think it looks so strange. Everything's just down the middle. I think if it was up, I think you know what? I think if the club badge was up at the sort of the top left, for example,
over the heart.
Over the heart. I think you could have put it in the sleek and sexy, but because it's just down the middle and the Hummel's underneath it, it just looks like everything's just been squashed. Do you remember that scene in Harry Potter: Prisoner of Azkaban when they're on the bus and everything squashes together? It looks like that. It looks like they've done that.
I can see where you're coming from. I hadn't actually noticed the badge down the middle, but it does, when you compare it to all the other kits, it does look a bit weird. And it's not to the point where I'd be looking at it in Kevin Blackwell's skip and thinking to myself, I'm going to fish that out of there. So I'm all right leaving it in the skip for now.
But do you know what I mean by if you take the badge and put it on the left and the Hummel on the right, I think that's the sleek and sexy shirt. There's a very nice detail there because you can see the dark and light patches. It's a nice shirt.
I can see what you mean.
They've ruined it by placing things in that straight down the middle. Just not a fan. I think
I'm all right with that.
They've let themselves down.
We've got to be harsh here, Justin. We are fashionistas. In that case, we've got to be very, very harsh when it comes to placing these kits. And I say that because I'm looking at the top now and it's looking a bit sparse up there. So I'm going to pick a kit which I think should be up in that kind of category. And we'll see what you think. I'm going with the Birmingham kit.
Yeah.
I really like this kit. I'm tempted to put it in the Louvre.
I would, I'd keep it in the sleek and sexy. And the reason why it sat alongside the Forest shirt now. There's a nice simplicity to it. There's a nice round neck collar. There's really subtle detail with the blue and the lighter blue. They've really made it work quite well because if you go down like a different shade, then it looks a bit like the Peterborough shirt, but they've made it a little bit more subtle. So I think sleek and sexy is quite nice.
I think it's definitely sleek and sexy, but it is also a pretty wonderful shirt. We'll come back to it a bit later on. That's a potential one which might move in just a bit. Let's fill it up a bit more up there, shall we, Justin? In fact, how about you? You pick out a shirt that you're a big fan of.
Okay. I think the QPR shirt should go in the Louvre.
That's a big shout. That is a big shout.
It should.
I do like this shirt.
The V-neck's nice.
The fact it stops at the sleeves as well.
Yeah. Area Louvre, always. Yeah, 100%. Area always release nice kits. Italian kit makers are brilliant, and Macron are bashing them out as well. QPR shirt, the V-neck's great. The hoops are nice. The sponsor sits in that middle blue hoop nicely because sometimes with hooped shirts you can lose a bit of the sponsor, can't you?
Yeah,
Doesn't get lost here.
like this one.
The badge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the red shirt not good.
I'm.
The
You've
white
made a
sleeves as
fair
well.
argument.
The
You've
white
made a
sleeves as
very
well.
fair argument. Go on then. We'll stick it in the Louvre. Might move later, but that can stay there for now. Well, we got the Reading shirt out. What are you thinking with that?
Yeah. So QPR have shown what you can do with the hoops. I think Reading have gone too hoopy. It's too hoopy in the sleeves.
They're too thin, aren't they? The hoops
they're
are
also
too thin.
Yeah. And this is what I mean about sponsors and badges can get lost. I'd be tempted to put it in the skip.
I'm not disagreeing. It looks like as well, the badge is bigger than the hoop. And I don't think the badge should ever be bigger than the hoop.
I think
hoops, you know what? It's going there. It's going in the skip.
Hoops are so problematic, aren't they?
They do cause a few issues. Well, we might come back to this and move some of these out because comparing some of the shirts that we've got in each category is making my stomach churn. However, we'll go through all the rest first before we start messing around with them all. Let's go for this Blackburn shirt, Justin. What are you thinking about that?
I think it's sleek and sexy. When it came out, I thought it was lovely. And but there's a really nice detail of the badge within the shirt as well. And I think it's in the bottom left on the blue side. It's really, really nice. And obviously you can't see the detail because the images don't do it justice. But I think it is a sleek and sexy shirt. I think Macron had delivered again.
I think it's all right.
I think it's a nice throwback to the half and half shirts from the Gamps Pedersen, Benny McCarthy era.
Blackburn shirts are always they're quite easy to make, I think, because they're so unique. They always look pretty sexy. So I've got to try and, in my opinion, you've got to give that caveat that Blackburn shirts are very easy to make sexy. So therefore, I would want to put it in. It's all right, I guess.
I don't know. I just think that little detail of the club badge on the left hand side of the front of the shirt is a really nice feature.
I think. Are you saying sleek and sexy?
I am as well. I am saying sleek and sexy. I think it.
The only reason I'm going to overrule you is because I don't think it can be in the same category as that Forest and Blackburn shirt.
Okay.
Because they're very nice shirts.
Yeah.
Birmingham shirt. What did I say? Blackburn.
Yeah.
Those two are very nice shirts, and I don't think that Blackburn shirt is on the same wavelength, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Barnsley, what are you thinking?
I think it's all right. I just think it's all right.
I think it's very boring.
It is a bit bland. I didn't want to be too harsh, but it does look a bit bland.
There's nothing to it.
Far down. Yeah, there isn't. The round white neck collar is okay. It's a nice little detail, but I think they had that last season, did they?
I don't think the sponsor helps either.
I don't mind the sponsor, actually. I think the sponsor's okay. It's better than some of the sponsors.
The sponsor looks like what you'd see at your local cricket team.
I can see that. But then again, there's a little white detail underneath the sleeves. That looks like it goes down the shirt. So
it's very boring, Justin. It's an incredibly boring shirt.
Okay, they could have done a bit more of it. I'll give you that.
We'll go because it's not a monstrosity, but it is a very boring shirt. Yeah. Let's go for a very fashionable pick, a very favourable pick with many people. It's the Swansea shirt. Very smart. Very, very smart. What are you thinking, Justin?
I'd put it in the Louvre. I honestly would. And the reason why is it's just so nice. It's so nice. They've absolutely smashed out of the park with their kits this year. The blackout kit as well, which is obviously not a home kit, but they've just dominated this year's kit releases. Swansea.
The collar and sleeves. Spectacular. Unreal.
That's what you can do with a collar and sleeves. They're not just there for, block colours. They're there for detail, and they've done very well with it.
I think the new badge as well. The new badge has split opinion from Swansea fans, from what I've seen anyway. But I think it adds to this kit, and it does bits. It really does bits. And if you look at the details as well, it's a textured white as well. It's not just plain white like Derby's kit, for example. So yeah, I'm tempted to stick in the Louvre. I'd be happy with that.
It's a nice kit, and as I said, Swansea have absolutely smashed out of the park. I imagine kit sales will go through the roof, and it's Joma as well. There's a lovely little kit maker there, not favoured by many. So don't underestimate the Spanish kit maker. It's very nice.
Let's go for this Huddersfield shirt, Justin. What are you thinking?
I think it's all right. I think there's a nice balance there. The stripe going straight down the middle where the collar meets is very nice. The badge sits quite nicely on the stripe as well. I think it's all right. I don't think it's anything more. It's okay.
Yeah, hoops and stripes. There is a difference, isn't there? Because even though the Huddersfield badge doesn't fit into the stripe, it looks better than...
It's prominent.
Yeah, it looks better than the Reading badge, which is just kind of copied and pasted on there, and someone's just thought, yeah, it's fine. It's all right, isn't it? It's just a very all right shirt.
Yeah. You're quite right. It's absolutely fine. It's neither really nice or really ugly.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. What about this Preston number? What are you thinking? I'm looking at the top two.
I'm thinking sleek and sexy, and then I'm seeing that sponsor.
Yeah, I'll get behind that. The sleeves, you can't really see it very well in the picture, but the sleeves are textured. It's very nice. The sleeves are the main bit of this Preston shirt, but I can see what you mean about the sponsor. The sponsor is kind of disrupting everything. It doesn't really go with the colour pattern. I was going to say, does it?
It looks like a very vibrant blue. Now, if it was the same shade as the sleeves and the Nike tick, I think it looked fine. But because it's such a vibrant blue, it's a bit like the Cardiff shirt blue. Actually, it's just too blue on that shirt. You know, I think Preston kits have always looked nice. They've always looked quite smart, haven't they? But sponsor-wise, this one really lets it down, because below, everything above the sponsor, perfect, absolutely perfect. Could have been Louvre potential, but below it, I think sponsor just lets it down a little bit.
If it had a nice, simple sponsor, it possibly would be in the Louvre, but that's what's let it down here. I agree with that. Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth are another side who always have nice kits just because of their colour scheme. Obviously, red and black, don't see it very often. So when Bournemouth come out with something, it's always pretty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think possibly the same as Blackburn, you've got to kind of take that into account.
I'll be honest with you, I'm on the other side of the coin there. I've never been a massive fan of the Bournemouth kits.
Really?
But then again, I love AC Milan kits, and it strikes me as a bit AC Milan-y. It's probably just a little bit too striped for me.
There are a lot of stripes.
There are a lot of stripes. You could count. I'm counting 6 there, and on the sleeves as well. I think if they left the sleeves alone, maybe.
Yeah, that is a fair point. That added whatever it is down the sleeve. I'm not a big fan of that. Are we thinking
No, I think that's hard. I think it's all right. It's okay.
Okay. We'll leave it there. Sheffield United. What are you thinking?
I'm not a big fan of it.
Neither am I. The sponsor is a massive no-no for me.
But I've seen quite a few of these kit ranks, and Sheffield United's come quite high in quite a few of those, which has surprised me. But again, it's Adidas. And this isn't a vendetta against Adidas. I'm not anti-Adidas. I like Adidas. But they've stopped making really nice kits. And this is another one that falls into that category.
I think there's too much going on.
Yeah.
At the top, you've got the stripes down there, and then you've got your sleeves stopping, and then you've got the stripes as well. The horrible sponsor. It's too much going on for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd argue with you there. That's bang on. There's the Adidas stripes. There's the shirt stripes. There's the badge and the logo, Adidas logo, getting lost in the stripes. I think the black on the sponsor doesn't help things, but you're
No.
quite limited in what you can do there.
Are we tempted to put it in Kevin Blackwell's skip?
I wouldn't, because I don't know if you can remember the 07-08 Sheffield United shirt when they went up to the Premier League, and it had like a block colour so they could get the Capital One sponsor on, and it looked horrendous. That's skip. That's skip worthy. I think this is just.
I think it's definitely a downgrade from last season, because they had quite a nice kit in the Premier League last season. Now, I'm not too sure. I would be tempted to put it in the skip, but I'm all right having it with Middlesbrough.
It looks quite smart. Smart. I don't think it's as good as last year's kit. I put it in the all right, I guess, just because it's quite smart. I think they've done something quite nice with the 32 red in the middle section of the shirt with the white. And that's about it, really. I like a bit of the detail. The collar has a bit of white on it. There's obviously the chevrons from Hummel, which adds to it, and there's a little bit of a swaying red in there, dark red and a bit of a light red. It's just all right. I just don't think it's as good as previous shirts.
It looks exactly the same as the one from last season.
I thought last season had a bit of dark blue in it as well.
Possibly, but it looks very similar to the shirt from last season. But it's a nice shirt. It's not a bad one. It's just a nice shirt. Not really much else to add to it, really.
Yeah, it's just a nice shirt.
Yeah. And finally, Justin, we've got Coventry City and their shirt. Now, Coventry are another side who seem to have very nice shirts because they're obviously sky blue and it's a bit unique to just them. What are you thinking?
I think it's quite sleek and sexy.
I do as well.
I think there's that light and a dark blue shades throughout the shirt. There's a dark blue collar. There's no dark blue on the sleeves, which they could have put dark blue on the sleeves and it would have looked fine. But I think because they haven't, they've avoided it. It looks nice. It looks really nice.
I'd agree with that. I think it is another one which you could get away with just wearing around casually.
Yeah.
It's a very nice, smart shirt.
It looks like a bit acid washy. You know, when you acid wash shirts, basically the same things that hippies wear, but not to that extent. I say hipsters now. I've got a few acid wash shirts. I can't really complain. But no, this is a nice shirt. Sponsor doesn't look too overbearing either, which is good. I think they've done quite well there with Hummel. And I love Hummel. I'd probably say I'm biased towards Hummel, but there's only one Hummel shirt above mid-table there. So
yeah. Anything that we want to move, because we have gone through all our shirts now?
Which ones were debatable? We were debating the Luton shirt, weren't we? Whether that was skip worthy. I think it's quite harsh to put it in the skip, but when you compare it to the others, it is quite bland, quite boring. I mean, the Blackpool shirt's quite straight above it. I think the Blackpool shirt's a better shirt than the Luton one. It is quite bland.
The one that is standing out for me is obviously this West Brom shirt, which I still stand by is the worst shirt in the Championship this season. Otherwise,
I disagree, because usually West Brom have a thinner stripe. So this big block stripe down the middle, I think it's quite nice, and they've got the red detail as well, which I quite like. I don't think it's skip worthy. I'd be very me personally. I would say it's quite sexy, to be honest with you.
No,
this is the only
on board with that at all.
This is the only major debate we're going to have. I really like it, and it looks good on some of the players as well.
Are we agreeing that if we had to make a combined list of the worst shirts, are we putting that Cardiff shirt as the worst one?
I think so, yeah. It just doesn't look great. It looks like a bit of a rugby shirt, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, now you say it. And some might say that the football is going to be very rugby-esque next season as well.
Top 6 rugby-esque.
Apart from that, I think I'm pretty happy with that. The Derby shirt, can I persuade you to maybe move that up?
No, I can't be persuaded on it. I just don't like the blue detail on it, and the red, the black sleeve on it as well. It's not the whole sleeve that's black. It's just a thick stripe going down the sleeve, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, I love long sleeve shirts, so if I've got a long sleeve shirt of that, there's just going to be one big black stripe going down, which I'm not a big fan of.
Okay, final two, just to persuade you. This Peterborough shirt, the more I look at it, the more it looks similar to this Blackpool shirt. And I'm tempted to move it down.
No, I'd keep it there because that Birmingham City shirt above it is sort of the next step up, I think. So I think it's quite a solid shout putting it there.
The other one I was considering moving is the Bournemouth shirt.
I think that can be moved up.
I was going to move it down.
Oh, right.
In that case, then we'll just leave it here.
Yeah, I quite like it now.
Final chance.
Final chance. I really do think that Fulham shirt is skip worthy. The sponsor just kills it. Absolutely ruins that shirt.
Okay, we can put it in the skip. It's in the skip. There we go. That's our final tiers, ladies and gentlemen, of the Championship home shirts for the coming season. At some point, we might do the away shirts as well. There are some very nice away shirts going around this season. But for the home shirts, this is what you've got. You've got 5 in the skip: Cardiff, Luton, Bristol City, Reading and Fulham. And then you've got 4, which are going in the Louvre: Hull, Millwall, QPR and Swansea. Well done to all kit makers involved right there. This has been the second tier. We'll be back again very soon. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Give us your thoughts on any shirts which you think should be higher, any shirts which you think we've done a disservice to. Let us know, and we'll take it in account for any future tier home shirts we make. But yeah, this has been the second tier. I've been Ryan Dilks. This has been Justin Peach. We'll be back again very soon.